Hello, so this is something a bit different, and we're in Cinema 4D. And if you're a beginner and you've used Cinema 4D before and you've done some little bits, this tutorial will be perfect for you to get your hands on some new effectors and things like that, as well as we're looking at balls and just understanding more of the ins and outs of the in-depthness of Cinema 4D. Okay, so what we're going to do is today just create a Pokeball. Not very hard, but has a really cool, nice effect on it. So what we're going to do is start off with a cube. Just click on the cube and we're going to go with sphere. Awesome, so we can zoom into that. We're going to change this to 100 segments, so it looks a little bit more detailed. As soon as you press enter, there we go, pops into that. And we're going to change our type to a hemisphere, so half of a Pokeball to start off with. We're then going to make this editable, so we can go over here. You can either hit C on your keyboard or just click that button there, and that pops it into edit mode. That means we can use all of these tools down here, from points to lines to polygons and everything like that. So what we're going to do is make sure we click on to polygons, and as you can see, all our polygons are there. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the selection, I want loop selection. So and I want to select that loop and that section down there. I'm then going to backspace that and delete that section. This will come a bit clearer later, because if we put two hemispheres together and we don't delete a part, you'll find that we've got no gap for like the Pokeball button or anything like that. So deleted that one loop of a line at the bottom of those polygons, so we can create these two different sections. Okay, whoops, right. Okay, so we're going to go back into edit mode, and we are going to add a cylinder. So click cylinder. Lovely. So just zoom out a little bit so you can see that. Cool. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to change the rotation of our cylinder. So make sure we're selected onto it. And as you can see, we've got rotation at this bottom section here. And I'm going to change the rotation of P to 90. Lovely. And we're going to change the object radius. So if we make sure we're still selected on our object, all of the settings are down in the bottom right hand corner, and we can see radius is currently at 50. Let's change that to 30. Awesome. So next thing I'm going to do, zoom in a little bit, and here I'm going to make sure that my cylinder isn't poking at the end of my Pokeball, or the top half of my Pokeball, and at the moment it is. So I'm just going to quickly click on cylinder, go to my move tool, and just move that there so it's not in the way of my the bottom of my Pokeball. So what we're going to do with this cylinder now, we're only using this as a tool to create this cutout for where we can then put our button for our Pokeball. So what I'm going to do is make sure sphere is at the top of my layers hierarchy here. So make sphere at the top and cylinder is at the bottom, and you can just click and drag and swap those around, as you can see, just like that. So once I've done that, I'm going to go to array, which is, where is array? Let's run off. Let's have a look. No, it's not there. Is it there? There it is. So if you click and hold on the, is that one? Instance. If you click on that, we can then find array here, and then we're going to go to ball. So if we click on ball, awesome. Once we've done that, we are going to select our cylinder and our sphere. We can hold them with a command or control on PC, and click and drag those into ball. So, and as you can see, they've now become parented. And we can now see in our viewfinder that the cylinder, because the cylinder is underneath the sphere, that is what's going to be used to create the cut. Obviously, if the other way around, then the sphere would be cutting into the cylinder. So that's how we use a ball in Cinema 4D. So if we want to confirm these changes, we can click onto ball, just press C to make that as a crop, and that will create them as empty nulls. We can then just click on our cylinder, backspace, drag out our sphere there and go onto our ball and backspace and delete that. So we've just got this lovely cut now within our sphere or hemisphere. Okay, so we now need to do an extrusion, because as we zoom in, we can see that it's just flat. So, and our Pokeball needs a bit of depth to it. So we're going to make sure we click onto polygons again on our sphere, just like that. Make sure you select on the sphere, and this time we can do either Control A if you're on PC or Command A, and that should select all of the polygons within our area. We can then right click on that and go to Extrude. And once we click on Extrude, we can see that we can do an offset. And offset's default is to 5 centimeters. I don't want to get that crazy. I'm just going to go highlight it, go to 2, press enter, and there we go. We can see that offset has now created this nice 2 centimeter offset thickness within our Pokeball. Okay, cool, looking good. So let's go back into model mode. On our sphere, we're now going to copy and paste, and the easiest way to copy and paste an object in Cinema 4D is by holding Control or Command. If you're PC, it's Control. If it's Mac, it's Command. So I'm going to hold Command, click and drag until I get this symbol. So the left arrow and the plus in the box, and then bang. There we go. We've got a second sphere that's been automatically added. Once we've got that, we can then rotate our brand new sphere, our copy and pasted sphere. And again, not on the P this time, but on the B, and we're going to rotate this by 180. And once we've done that, we can zoom out, and you can see we're starting to get the starting formations and shapes of our Pokeball. And that is looking nice. Awesome. Okay, so what we need to do next is add another sphere to fill out this Pokeball. So click on cube, go to sphere. Lovely. I'm just going to then change the segments to 100 again. Lovely. So that's filled that out really nicely. That's looking nice. Awesome. Fantastic. Right. Okay, let's sort out this button for the middle of our Pokeball. What we need to do is, again, we're going to add a cylinder. And again, we can rotate this by 90 on the P. Awesome. We are then going to look at the radius again, change that to 25 this time. Press enter. Brilliant. And the height of just 5. And then because if we go onto our transform tool, we can just pull and drag this out. There we go. Zoom into that so you can see what I'm doing. Make sure it's actually attached. That is actually attached and centered perfectly. Lovely, lovely. It's just lovely. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this cylinder. So it's the Control for PC or Command on Mac. Do that again. This time I'm going to change the radius to not 25 but to 18. As you can see, it's already gone smaller. I'm going to pull that out again as well. Not that thick. There we go. And just as a nice little finishing touch, I'm going to change to caps. Make sure we check fillet and change that from not 2.5 but just a 1, and I think that should be nice enough. Yeah, it looks lovely. Make sure that's all properly attached. zoom out. And there we go, you've modelled a fantastic looking Pokeball. So again, you can put some materials onto this and make it look nice and pretty, as Cinema 4D does. Let's just create some little bits to make this look a bit better. And there we go. So that's looking really, really nice. You can add some materials. I also went on to the render settings and added a global illumination, ambient occlusion, and a sketch and tune effect to get this really nice looking sort of cartoony and sort of shaded effect with the light. With the light, I just added a physical sky. Give it a try, have a test with the render settings, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.